Hello everybody, this is Mariana. I'm back here to do the Vibes Inside for you today. Um, I just want to pop in just with a little, I feel like a New Year's um, setup here, or a New Year's message maybe for someone out there. Um, Today is a day where, well, it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. We know that today will be probably a festive one for most of you if you're celebrating. Um, take care of yourself out there today. It's the sign of Capricorn. Happy birthday to you. We have Venus today is conjunct with Pluto, and that can give a bit of an explosive energy. I'm not saying that something will happen with the fireworks. Maybe just really prepare yourself, right? Don't be reckless, maybe. But again, Pluto is quite explosive, but so this can be well. It's easy to think about fireworks, but it can be anything. It can be a feminine explosion. So it can be a feminine expression of something. Something that may have been a secret that has been held back for a while. It can be an inner thing. That's something you realize about yourself that you may not have felt, or you haven't recognized it or acknowledged it. It can be a part of yourself that you haven't taken into account. Maybe you have been holding a secret for a long time and now it's like it's bursting out suddenly, or someone is bursting something out. That may change a dynamic entirely, right? Venus conjunct with Pluto can be about, you could say, Venus is about love, right? It's about close relationships. It's about the fun side of life, the things we desire. It's about the fun, maybe the games of life, the excitement of life. So Venus conjunct Pluto can be, for instance, someone realizing they are maybe not quite accepting their gender. It can be something like they have been raised always to be a girl, but actually realizing that they do have a lot more boy-like tendencies and thoughts about themselves. They may consider changing something dramatically in their life, right? It can be something like that. That could be a Venus-Pluto thing, right? Something that they may have like really pondering about for a long time. And maybe out of guilt or shame, they haven't done anything about it, right? This could be a new a sense of sexuality you want to explore, right? That you have kept a secret, maybe. A longing you have for something but it has never been done, or it has been kept in like the dark, in the secrets. Maybe it's coming out, maybe it's told, shared, or at least maybe you recognize it within yourself that something has come up to the surface. I feel like that could be a thing for this New Year's evening all over, generally. But it could also be that, like, well, you could say the feminine exploding could be the feeling of like needing to put out some boundaries, saying no to something, making a final line in the sand, getting out of something, you know, like making a decision. It could be a New Year's resolution that you realize this new year I want something else, right? Maybe you have been struggling with, let's say, an addiction for a long time, and you are taking a stand. You are actually telling your family. You are telling that you need help, and you have signed yourself into a rehab facility in the new year. You know, it can be something like that. But the point is that it can be an internal thing, that you actually realize this. And you have kept it at a distance. You didn't want to look at it, or you didn't want to face it. You didn't want to acknowledge it. You didn't want to have anything to do with it. Or you were fearing how the surroundings would react to it somehow. But now you're coming to this conclusion that something has to be done, or I figured this out about myself. And what then? What now? That's why I have the purple here. I think it's a brain thing, right? It has to do with some kind of clarity, some kind of epiphany, maybe a knowledge, crown chakra here, something you're recognizing, realizing, that is within you, or a part of you, but you haven't really, could be the sense of a shadow element, maybe. Okay, so I don't want to say much more about it. Jupiter has entered Aries, which can bring really new expression to it, but it's still holding its breath, I think, because we have been here already a year ago. That's how the planets work. Aries, Jupiter has been in Aries, then it returned back into Pisces, and now it's coming back into Aries again. So the degrees of Aries, we have already been here. The extent of Jupiter will become more evident when we are around maybe February or so. So just keep breathing and think good thoughts about for yourself, right? And the people you love. Keep everyone in high regard if you can, and enjoy yourself. So let's have a look at this. I've had a longer spiel or a longer channeling, but this time I wanna maybe do a little bit shorter video. We'll see about that. But let's get some cards on the table here. So I'm looking for an overall and underlying energy for this New Year's evening. A message for someone out there and I know it will not resonate with all of you. If it does, please like the video. It helps the algorithm pick up the video and share it more, show it more on YouTube. If you have comments, please let me know. Okay, so let's have a look at this. At the top, the overall energy faded meeting. This is interesting, right? Faded meeting, and look at this, how it's so interesting. First of all, we have a 7 here. So 7 is a spiritual number. That could be a spiritual feeling of connection with someone. Maybe you feel, and maybe it's internal, maybe it's external. It actually feels a little bit like something from a dream-like idea, someone you have dreamt about. Maybe you're meeting them. It can be like you have tried to manifest something internally, and now it becomes an external thing, that now suddenly something also comes into fruition in the real world. It has a sense of the lovers to it, I feel like. A spiritual thing, like a being guided, or the feeling that this is someone, I know this one, right? I know them. I know this person. It could be someone you have already met, and you're realizing something now here. You see this idea that they look alike, right? The man looks like this one, and she looks like... So there's something about like a destiny feeling to this, right? That they do already know each other. The feeling that you know this person. You know someone. Meeting someone, and they could be the feeling of she or he is my destiny. This is not just any new person I'm meeting. This is something more. And look at how the clock strikes 12 here, right? The feeling of midnight, the feeling of a brand new year, a brand new year of something. Look at how there's this bubble here. How the shine of the sun makes like this feeling of a bubble, like we are in this... Could be the feeling of uniting with something, someone. Uniting with maybe a part of yourself, if this is an internal thing, that you realize something. As I said about the Venus, the feminine energy, maybe she's realizing something here. Realizing something about herself. It can be something like, why am I attracted to certain people, right? Why am I attracted to a certain person here, maybe? Why is that? It could be someone you have already met. It could be someone you are meeting. I'm not saying this will be exactly on New Year's Eve. It could be, right? It could be. It's interesting because I was immediately shown the 12 o'clock here, New Year's point of a new year, a new beginning maybe, a totally new cycle perhaps. It could be the feeling of recognition, that you're recognizing something about yourself internally. It could be someone in your life. You're recognizing them to be something else. Or maybe you have dreamt about a certain person and now they are suddenly here, trying to manifest that. Maybe in a square. Immediately I get to think about New Year's Eve in my country, in Denmark, in Copenhagen, our capital city. For those who live close by, New Year's Eve, striking 12 o'clock, fireworks are being fired from the you could say the yard, the courtyard in front of our like the what's that called? Like the city hall, in Copenhagen. In front of it, there's this big yard, as like we see it here, like a paved a pavement yard, and a lot of people gather here to see the fireworks, to sing, and to see we have a big clock tower, and to cheer and be with a lot of people, unite with a lot of people, gather in the moment of the new year striking, when the bell is and when the clock shows 12 o'clock midnight, right? Maybe you are in a place like this, like maybe you are in, like with and this looks like an old Victorian building, a bit like that, like being in front of maybe a church, a castle, as I said, a big city hall building, maybe. Maybe you are in a capital city where there is a sense of, yeah, like a space, right, where people gather for a festivity, maybe. Again, look at the clothes, right? It's very gallant, elegant. It could be a feeling of a ball, a New Year's ball, like a royal element, the feeling of being in a royal bubble, maybe, or maybe you are at a New Year's evening with a certain theme, right? A festive theme. In surroundings like this. But it could also be something from your imagination, that you imagine a meeting with someone, like from a fairy tale, right? I meet this handsome nobleman with his hat in his hand, looking at me, recognizing that I am the one of his dreams, or the other way around, something like that. Fated meeting, like it's destiny, it's fate, to meet with this one. And how we somehow know each other, right? That's this feeling of, I know you. Let's have a look at the card here. So it says, a clock tower stands with its hands pointing to just a few minutes before 12 o'clock. A man and a woman approach each other, coming to meet at the time that was predetermined by their higher selves, who are shown above them, translucent and shining. With this card, you are coming to a very important relationship in your life. Either it is entirely new, or an existing relationship is being lifted to a much higher experience. Karma from past lives may have brought you together, so it's important for both of you to stay alert. Keep your individual and collective growth a priority, and act with defense and act with difference and compassion to yourself and each other. If you both honor your karmic course, this could be one of the highest relationships you can know. This card can also show a fated meeting with another above a work situation, a creative project, or an important purpose that you hold. This too is likely karmic. Perhaps it is past life publisher, a spiritual teacher, a brother or a sister. Whoever it is a powerful and promising relationship. So get ready, it's almost time. Okay, so, well, you see that there's an element of something here at least. Fated in the sense that maybe it feels like you know this person. You're supposed to have something to do with them. They come across maybe as a dream person, like someone you've dreamt about. Maybe you've fantasized about this person. Maybe they showed up in your dreams and now they're actually in front of you. But again, as the book says, maybe there's something karmic to this as well. So it may feel like I have to do something about or be with this person. I have to talk to them. But just remember that there is something, there can be something you need to learn from this situation, or both of you do, right? It could be the feeling of a karmic partner, a soulmate, but with a karmic challenge maybe. It could be the feeling of maybe a twin flame. I want to say twin flames are like true twin flames. They usually repel each other because the energy is too strong. So if that's it, then just have that in mind. And again, if you have met a twin flame and you have been in separation, thinking about them maybe for a long time, and you come across them again, the energies here, if they are true twin flames, they have a very difficult time being in the same room together, unless they have cleared all the karma between them. So if that's the case, I want to say well done, because this is very difficult. But again, it doesn't have to be a twin flame, right? It can be a soulmate here. But that's what I feel like. Someone, you may have dreamt of them. Maybe you've seen their face in a dream. And now it's like they're just... It could be the feeling of déjà vu. That I know you, right? I know you from somewhere. This could actually also be the feeling that you suddenly realize something with someone, that you did know each other, maybe from the Victorian time, that this is a picture from a past life where you were lovers, perhaps. Or you were married, or you ended up together. And this is like, that this is now suddenly the past life that opens up. And you realize how much, now you realize the connection with someone maybe, that this is what happened. This is this is why we met. That something from this time, from this past life, was not recognized. Maybe we couldn't be together at that time, and now we were given a new chance, right? In a new life. Circumstances may have kept us apart. Look again how she's dressed in white and he's dressed in black. Like the opposites, right? There's something makes them compatible, but at the same time, maybe the time, the traditions, the like honor and maybe there was something about money involved in this that kept you apart somehow. And you are given a new opportunity in a different lifetime. You take that how it resonates for you, right? At the bottom of the deck, again, this can be the feeling of your yin and yang. Like your inner yin and yang is now communicating in a different way, maybe. That it can be external, I think it is, but also like an internal or something you've been trying to manifest, or yeah, something like that. Okay, at the bottom of the deck I get the Six of Forces, the waterfall in reverse here. Yeah, immediately I get something about gravity. Like, gravity is not a thing. Gravity, the meeting with someone here. Yeah, okay. Underlying energy means that it's a driving force. It's almost like the water wants to run backwards instead of forward. You know, it's like run. I get the feeling of going back in time, like resolving gravity or resolving time. Yeah, gravity is a thing here. Something like you may feel that could be the feeling of some kind of burden, may feel like it's lifting, or that something heavy may feel like it's healing, or it gets a boost somehow. The waterfall means that the water falls downwards. The gravity something pushes it downwards here. It also talks about an edge. It talks about there's a level here and a level here. And again, this feeling of maybe someone is on a high horse, or someone is a nobleman or a lady, and someone is a pawn, right? And there has been flowing this water between them, but it couldn't be, right? It could be an unhappy love story here. They couldn't have each other because maybe a hierarchy level. I hear monarchy. Maybe someone in past lives, maybe they belonged to the royal family and someone didn't. So they couldn't be with each other, right? They couldn't have each other. But I feel like there has been spilling water here between them for a long, long time. And because there has been this feeling that someone was on this level and someone was higher up on a different level here. now it feels a bit reversed. It could be the feeling that it's the other way around, that someone, that if you were the nobleman interested in, or you could say, like Cinderella, right? The prince looking for the princess, but she is actually just a poor girl living with her stepmom, right? She had a nice dress on when he met her, and he thought of her as a princess, and he was prepared to ride the entire kingdom to find her, right? No matter what class she was, he would find her. It could be the other way around, like this is reversed now. It could be the other way around, that now this is the one who is in a different class, right? And this is the one who has to prove himself somehow worthy of her. Like the roles have been reversed, but there is this immediate recognition that I know you, right? We have water here. Water is flowing between us. There are feelings here between us. No matter, I still have gravity, the feeling of time, the feeling of the water has kept running. No matter how you charge it, or we can even do like this, right? No matter how where they stand, there's water between them. That there's the feeling that there's a lot of emotions here between them. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if there's class. It doesn't matter if there's time. It doesn't matter. It's like everything has no gravity. There's no gravity holding us to a certain standard. No matter what class you are from or where I am from, it makes more sense to put it like this, that the water is there no matter what. There's a link between one and another here, right? No matter what level or class you represent here, there's water here between them. It came up reversed here. So it could be the feeling that, well, here I sometimes talk about, because the water is falling downwards, it could be the feeling of descending, not ascending. Descending could be the feeling that that you embrace lower vibrational energy of loss, sadness, grief, longing for something, feeling the lack of something, feeling sorrow, right? When the water falls downwards, now it's like the water would want to do the opposite. It wants to ascend, meaning that it's forcing its way against gravity, which is unlogical. But that's what it feels like. I want to ascend, and that could be the feeling here, that I want to make myself better for someone, right? This fated meeting has the ability to rise me up again, to heal me, to make me whole again, to give me, to show me my purpose. This is the one, she or he is the one that can make this possible, to give me my joy back, right? To give me my joy back. So again, from a low point feeling to now I'm going against the gravity, right? I rise up here to happiness, to joy, to being joyous, being thankful, being healed, being whole, being and I'm facing something. I go against the gravity because this is what it allows. This meeting allows me to go against my sorrow, to go against the feeling of loss, emptiness, being alone, rejected, whatever. This is the one that inspires me maybe to better myself, to think better thoughts, to heal, to improve myself, right? Something like that. Okay, so so I have two cards here now, immediately jumping this one first. Four of Wands, yes. You see, there's a feeling of, this is the person, right? This is the one I'm supposed to marry. Or the feeling that I know you. We have been together before. But then again, when I look at this, it's like, it's out in the countryside. We are together. We are family. You are my Four of Wands. You are my marriage person, right? You are my partner, but there is no Victorian castle here. So it could be that this is, I'm supposed to be with you. But it may be a life away from my family. It may be a life away from luxury. If I choose you, I'm saying goodbye to the luxury. I have to, there's something about leveling out the class difference, maybe. Leveling out the feeling of someone is maybe in charge and someone is following. There's this feeling that we are equals. What's that called? We complete each other in the sense that there's no levels, there's no class difference. We are equal here, somehow. Look at the clothing here, right? It comes across more as, if I may say, common, like a more common life. Not a life of luxury, noble titles, not a life of royalty or money, something like that, right? This talks about choosing love, partnership over money, perhaps here. The wands are shining brightly here. There is a lot of willpower to do this, passion, a feeling of both inspiring each other and the will to make this work, right? The will to make this work. There's even a child here. And the way they stand, both looking in the same direction towards each other, but also towards the child. It's like both are invested, I feel, equally in preserving something, preserving maybe the innocence, the honesty, between them, preserving family. They are equally invested in this. Both have the will to do this with each other. And suddenly I'm drawn to this. I don't know if you can see it, but there is I've actually never really looked at it, but there are dragonflies here. Dragonflies are, I want to say, old genes. Like I believe scientists have concluded that dragonflies are like not many animals on Earth. Some of the few ones where the DNA is intact. The origin of the dragonfly, as with the shark, they are almost identical to their ancestral inheritance, DNA inheritance. They are almost intact, meaning that they bring a story, right? They are messengers of an old story, old narratives even. They bring something that is unique in the sense that it's old, it's very old. And it has not been messed with. Like, it has not mutated, it has not been forced to survive by mutating or breeding with something that was not exactly like them, right? And it seems like there are two of them here, right? So it represents this feeling that both of you may go back in time, right? That the story of you here could be that you have that DNA. Like, you are like dragonflies. You would know each other anywhere. Because the DNA tells the same story, right? This old story is intact in both of you. That's why you recognize each other, right? And I've talked about narratives on my channel. I'm in the midst of doing these readings about the memories that we hold, the memories we carry. So there's something telling me here, whatever fated this is, the karmic resolution that you need to figure out here, or the purpose between you here, is old, very old. But it's special, right? It's special and it's unique, and it has this, it's like an old story. Maybe you have many lifetimes here with each other. Many lifetimes. Right? This is an old story. It has been going on for a long time, I think. This lifetime around, if you meet this one, you will know this person somehow. Maybe not the full entire story, as I said here with the Victorian recognition, right? That's not it. The point is that I believe that you carry an old narrative together. You have a long story. And maybe a story where there is this, if I choose you, we could live in poverty. We may have the will to survive, but I need to give something up. As someone needs to give something up, and in this life, maybe it's the opposite, the other way around. Maybe it's the other one that needs to give something up to be with you, right? Again, usually if one of you in past lives, let's say you were you were royalty. You couldn't just marry whoever you wanted. Marrying royalty could be a business agreement, right? It could be a treaty of peace between two countries, or two kingdoms, right? It could be an alliance, where this feels more like love to me, right? But you have to give up the crown, perhaps, to be with this one, right? Living in a remote area, maybe what's that called? Eloping, right? Running away together to have this life together, but you are out in nowhere here, right? Building solidly on the love you hold, the passion you hold, the fire you have, the willpower you have, the confidence you have in this. But never seeing your royal family again, perhaps. Saying goodbye to that. Never having the safety of that. Living a more common life. That could be one of them. This other one here, Five of Pentacles reversed. Here you see it, right? And here we could have the two. Here we actually may have the story, right? That you are the one for me, but I know I need to elope. I need to run away with you because my family would never allow us to be together. We have to run. We have to hide. We have to live simple. I cannot return. And the life with you will be common. It will be poor, maybe. It may be real, but it may be poor. And here we have the card of Five of Pentacles is a card of like having nothing. We see he's begging here for something, right? Totally dependent on someone giving you a coin, perhaps, for food or something. Here you have lost everything. You have nothing. You have no home. You are a beggar. You no work. You don't have a place to stay. There is a sense of having lost everything here. Having lost everything. It came out in reverse, so I feel like this is the avoidance, like avoiding that, right? Avoiding the to avoid, or at least a debate going on between you. Would I choose real love, even if it took me to this place where I couldn't be sure of stability? We see there are 4 wands, right? Which talks about marriage. It is the 1111 card here. Of, we say, marriage, partnership here. But when we look at it, there is no door in this home. There is no walls in this home. There is actually only the shelter of your will, of your passion. There is no money here. There is nothing that besides the feeling of passion, of inspiration, of motivation, of confidence, of willpower. And that is what is supposed to make this last. Both of them need to be equally invested in that to make this happen. There is no savings, there is no luxury, there is no Victorian home here, there is no castle. There's no money. So it's a simple life. Maybe a day-to-day life. It's a life where every day you need to put in faith and willpower to trust that this was the right decision. And maybe you are debating this within yourself. Do I want something here? Knowing that if I do this, if I pursue this, it may be the love of my life. It may be my one. It's the one. But it may not be an easy life, right? It could be a life where I potentially could end up here. If I say no, if I marry this one, I'm saying no to something else, perhaps. My title. I have to give away my throne, right? And maybe you are having a debate between this. If I take on this person, if I marry this person, all of my money will now go to them. In old times, there was a deity, right? Wasn't it called that? That the women, the parents of the women should pay some kind of fee to the parents of the son. Or the other way around, you paid something. Dowry, it's called, I think, dowry. So that you could marry. So if I pay the money to be married with this one, I may not have any, right? That's all I have. So now today, at least in the Western world, I believe we don't do that. But if you are sitting in a different country where this is still a thing, being married to someone here may mean that there's no money, right? Or how can I preserve money? How can I get us out of poverty? If I get married to this one, how can I get myself out of poverty? What if you marry someone who has come from a different upbringing and they are used to luxurious living? They use all the money, right? They use all the money. So you may love them, but they use all your money. So how can you stay out of bankruptcy if you marry this one? To get my point of this, there's this feeling of lack of safety. This is lack of safety also. Meaning that it doesn't have to be monetary safety. It can be simply the feeling that I'm not safe with this person. I'm not safe in this environment. I'm feeling my body is shivering, right? It's like I'm reacting to something that feels like a very unsafe, unsheltered, and I'm weak here. I'm in a weak position. But this could be the feeling that I could marry someone and come out of my misery, right? I could marry someone and I could get, first of all, I would get maybe a marriage with someone here that potentially is that we hold a lot of fire, a lot of passion for each other. We want this to work. And at the same time, I get myself out of insecurity. It could be the feeling being alone here. When I'm alone, I'm not safe, right? So I would rather get into a relationship with someone, because being with someone makes me feel more protected. I'm protected here. If I could just marry this person, I would be protected somehow. These were jumpers, so maybe that could be the feeling. struggling or asking yourself, is this real love, or am I just drawn to this person for other reasons, right? This one wants to show itself. It says the Lovers here. Right? It's such an interesting card because she is quite clear, but he looks a little bit like a shadowy or ghosty, invisible, like a dream. Again, this feeling you've been dreaming about someone coming to your rescue, right? Someone coming to your rescue, taking you out of the feeling of loneliness. There could be this feeling that one of you may feel very lonely. Even if you have all the money in the world, you may feel very lonely. You may feel unsafe in the world, that you need someone to be there to protect you. Right? Having all the luxury of the world, but not feeling safe in your body. And over here we have someone who doesn't have the luxury, but they are very grounded and very strong. A strong personality, you know, like that feeling. And when you meet them, they may not own a dime, but you just know immediately that this is the one that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for someone who is maybe my opposite, right? Who is my opposite? Who takes the burdens, the feeling of pressure on my life, they take that away. The pressure of gravity, they take that away. They can carry that for me, right? It makes my life easier. I can breathe more freely now. I'm safer. If I can marry this person, if they can become my partner, I'm safe, right? I'm safe with them. Yeah, that's the feeling I get. And again, it could have been like in a different lifetime, it was the other way around. Do you get my point? It's like another person has something about them that you get strongly drawn towards, because you may feel that you don't have it yourself, that you lack it yourself. I want to just put in a side note to this. Usually the ones that we feel the strongest desire towards is not necessarily a life partner, I want to say. Meaning that, and this is where I have a little bit of question mark with the Four of Wands. Because the Four of Wands do not show any cups. They only show fire. And fire is important. It's a willpower. It's a confidence. It's passion. It's desire. It's lust, maybe. It's inspiration. It is fun. It's alluring. It's sexual. It's all that stuff. But again, it's the fifth house to me. And the fifth house is usually what I would call more of a casual sex and a here and now, connection that feels almost like a high. It gives you a momentary here and now feeling of like completion, I want to say. But the fifth house is It's about the easy life. It's about the fun, the games, the joy, the happiness, the easy side of life. And this is where people can sometimes go wrong, right? That if I have a strong desire towards someone, it must be because it's my person. It must be the strong chemistry here must be the evidence that I need, that this is stronger than life. This is something that can uphold the strongest storm. We can be together no matter what. But I believe the true long-term love is in the 8th house, the scorpionic element. You should seek your long-term partner here. But the quick desires are the 5th house. So again, this can be something you need to recognize, that there are quick fix desires, and then there is the long-term love, the invested love, the love that really sustains time, gravity, that really sustains storms, wars, right? But again, the high may not be the same here. The passion may not be the same. The security is stronger here. It's founded in something much deeper than the 5th house. So I'm just putting out a little bit of, again, if you have this feeling of meeting someone, this fated meeting where you have this bang, the feeling, this is the one. This is my person, right? This is the one for me. This is the one I've longed for. This is the one that I have desired. This is the one. Just bear this in mind, perhaps. Especially if there's this extremely strong chemistry. That time, everything stops here. Gravity, time, everything stops. This is fated, right? We know each other. There is something here. The reason why you may come together is perhaps because you couldn't have each other in a different life. But why didn't you? Why couldn't you have that? It was because of a class difference. Something about maybe gender, maybe something about let's say these were same sex, like they were same sex, they couldn't have each other, right? Maybe it was like a white person and a black person, right? You know, like take it how it resonates for you. Maybe it was something about, maybe it was different religions. Maybe it was a big age difference. Maybe it was money, right? Maybe it was title, royalty. Maybe it was, but definitely expectations of society, rules, narratives also, right? I am a nobleman. I can't marry a farmer's daughter, right? I want to, but I can't. My family owns me here. My title, my royalty, it owns me. I am not a free person to do what I want, right? Maybe that's what it's about here, that you, both of you, need to free yourself from your narratives, from the stories. No matter how you turn it, maybe in one life you were here and they were here. In another life, you were here and they were here. You know, like, but the point is that the feelings, the strong feelings here. Again, look at how the water acts. It's bursty. It's in motion. It's active. It's very it's flushing, right? It's not a calm, relaxed. It's turbulent water here. Right, it's turbulent water. It's in free fall. the feeling of being in free fall, right? That I can't control my emotions, perhaps. They are out of my control. In this free fall here, they are out of my control. Maybe it's reversed here. Maybe something is now reversed. Maybe someone is coming back to you and their emotions are out of control. They can't control themselves. It's turbulent. It's dramatic. It's, like when the water realizes, oh, I'm dropping here. I am out of control. In this position here, I'm out of control. Then I land, something catches me here, right? But in this moment, in this free fall, I'm out of control. I have no control. Gravity is out of control here for me. I can, the only thing I could do is follow. I can just follow the stream. I cannot go against it. This is the feeling of trying to go against the stream, like I'm doing something otherworldly. They can make me do something otherworldly, right? I can, with them, I can go against the stream. I can rise up again, right? I can do the impossible. I can regain control over something where there is no control. Do you get my point of that? I hope you do that. But it could also be the feeling that that there's a lot of tension. Maybe there has always been a lot of tension here. Tumultuous feelings. A feeling of war, right? That we have always, the love we feel for each other has always been at war. We always had to fight something, right? We always had to fight the monarchy, the family, the traditions, society, the gender roles, the sexual roles, the whatever. All kinds of prejudice, all kinds of pressure. Our love has always been tested with this. But our story is the same, the narrative is the same, the dragonflies are the same. We still hold love for each other, but our story has been a product of war, poison, prejudice, separation. There has always been something we had to fight. Being together means fighting for it. We have to fight for it, right? It could be the feeling that now it's different. Now there is no fighting. The only fight that may be is not that of society, not that of the prejudice of your family. Cultural traditions have changed. The class difference is maybe not there anymore. Maybe what is happening is internal. The memories of meeting this one comes with the feeling of struggle, war, the feeling of giving my life. I have to give my life. I sacrifice something. To choose this person comes with war. Even if there is no war around you anymore. Now it's an internal thing. Do you get my point? I hope you get my point of that. It's a memory. It's a DNA memory. You hold that memory. But there's nothing in society keeping you from each other. Not really. You are on equal ground. There's no class difference now. There's no, maybe you are, there's nothing in society judging you. It's internal. It's a narrative in you. Because this person, usually, there is something with this If I am supposed to be with them, there is war. There is like the most stormy obstacles. Maybe it's internal now. Maybe it's fears. Maybe it's the fears of being broken, unsafe, rejected. You know, that it's an internal process, not an external. In different lifetimes it was, perhaps. But this time around, it's like it's tipped around. It's tipped around. Something is different now. Right? Something like that. I have done that already. Okay, so let's have some cards here. Now I feel dizzy. Underlying energy, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this talks about it's time to have a new story. Maybe the narrative needs to have a new beginning. Maybe you need to tell yourself a new story. The reversal here, something is reversed. Something is turned around, different. There may be the feeling of tumultuous feelings still between you and someone, but it's not the usual ones. It's not how it was once. And that's why it needs a new story, right? It needs a new voice. It needs a new identity. This is probably the opportunity for you, maybe when the clock strikes 12 here, that you have the ability to tell a new story. Yeah, we see even the blue here. Air element is always blue, and this is blue. It's time to reverse something. To I see this almost also like a what's that called? Like an hourglass, like the but not with sand, but with water, right? That there is an hourglass here. An hourglass, interesting, again about this feeling of when it strikes 12. When the clock strikes 12, the hourglass with the water is running out, maybe. It's time for a new story to be told. A new story of the water needs a new story. The water needs a new story. A story where you may reverse something, right? You are now, the water needs a new story, a new narrative, a new understanding. And you are the writer. You're the creator, so you can write the new story here. You can imagine it. You can write it. You can even write to the person. You can contact them. If this is not like in face-to-face meeting, maybe it's a phone call, right? Maybe it's a phone call, a text message. Maybe it's a letter. That's what I feel like. Again, the underlying energy is a driving force of something. It wants something new, right? It wants something to change, to be changed. It wants something to be reversed against gravity, maybe against go against the stream. It wants something to go against the stream. Go against what would normally happen, or what would think outside the box, perhaps here. Think outside the box. Make a new narrative. Create a new story for yourself. If this is a story you have been dealing with for a very long time, maybe you need to change it. Maybe you need a story of equals. Maybe you need a story of there is no obstacle, right? There is no obstacle between you and me. Whatever you are, whatever I am, we are still meant for each other. Or we can make the turmoil water stop. We can make it more calm. We can calm it down. Right? We can calm it down. We are not necessarily separated anymore, right? This story, this water needs a new story. Maybe it needs a story where there is no barrier. There is no separation. There is no hourglass. There is no deadline. We are already together, right? Maybe it needs a new story. It needs a new narrative. To manifest something else, you need a new story. You need a new intention to manifest something new. If you have always felt there is separation and drama and war and prejudice and all kinds of stuff keeping us apart here, both of you need to tell yourself a new story to make this disappear. Tell yourself a new story here. Say that it's over. The war is over. Tell yourself that I have no weapons up here. There is nothing keeping us from each other. That the water is silent and calm and clear. If you want a new story, if you want something to happen, you need a new intention. Maybe you need a peace offering here. Maybe you need some honesty here. Right? Again, you may lose them. We saw that with the Five of Pentacles. There's a possibility of losing someone, and you don't want that. But the Ace of Swords is always a new beginning of something, a new story, a new timeline, a new narrative, a new commitment maybe. Maybe this is just that you understand the dynamic, that you understand what it is that you two are facing here, the lovers. Why you want someone to come and save you, or someone to be your safety net. Why have you dreamt of such a strong person? Why do you need it? Wow, so we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Yeah, look at this. This is the strong savior. This is the masculine strong savior. The patriarch, the one that takes charge. the big strong warrior, right? Who can give you all the safety, security, who is everything you need here. It's the father energy, this one. This is the leader of the pack. Strong, muscular, as we saw it in the Lover's card, right? This is the one you're looking for. Look at the big pentacle here. Not broken, not sliced into pieces. It's a big, solid, strong one on top of his crown chakra. He is wearing it as a crown, right? This is the strong masculine. Strong, powerful masculine. Leader of the pack, right? Protector of the pack. This is the one who can keep me safe. Who makes sure there's always food, shelter, warmth, protection, everything here. This could be the one you have been dreaming about, right? But again, he comes across as a big stallion here. This one is not necessarily a predator, like a lion, right? He's not a predator, this one. You can see there's a little squirrel and a little rabbit here, and he doesn't care about that. He's not hunting them. This one is not a predator. He is his status comes from something else. His status comes from maybe the ability to spread fertility here. Maybe he has like a lot of he is good at making things grow and live here. So there is a fertility thing about him, right? He has maybe great semen, like his seeds are good here. When he puts them into the earth, it's an earth element here. When he puts them into the earth, everything sprouts here, everything grows, there's an ability to have all kinds of life here. We could even say that this is the king who is not judgmental about who is around him. He's not judging the gender, the colors, of people or things around him. He has an accepting view of the world. He sees potential everywhere, right? Life and potential everywhere, right? He's not a lion who would kill the rabbit, right? He allows for life to be around him and flourish. He doesn't matter that there is leadership and flourishment around him, because he knows his worth, right? He knows his position and status. He doesn't mind competition. He doesn't mind different ways of fertility. He doesn't mind different ways of seeds, right? He doesn't mind that there is power somewhere else, because he is wearing this crown. He doesn't mind. His entire aura is like this, right? I have this big throne. I know who I am. Nothing can tip me over. I am that powerful. I can allow for other things to be here. It doesn't take my power away, right? That is probably the most advanced. I would say this is like a divine masculine, right? This is a divine masculine. Someone who knows his own power, but doesn't seem to need to like kill everything else, right? Someone who is afraid of power or fertility around him. It doesn't matter to this one, because he knows his worth, he knows his power, and he can easily accept that there is different life here. He salutes it, he likes it. He likes that there's something out there that he's not controlling. He likes the idea of that. He believes that there should be room for everyone here. Also the smaller animals here. They are not threatening to him. Right? This is he is a protector, a savior, you could say, a protector. And he has good seed, definitely. He's like a winner, right? Someone standing on, like he's the gold medal here. This is the divine masculine, right? Not just a masculine, but a divine masculine here. He protects me, but he is not crushing me. As a feminine, he is not crushing me. He puts an honor in being the protector, the savior, the leader of the pack, the one who keeps his herd safe and sound, his children also. One who is devoted to that sense of leadership. This is why everyone honors him and respects him, right? This is why he is seen with a lot of power. It's because he is that person. He is that energy. He has this devotion. That could be the feeling that you met someone here that could be this for you, that this is my divine masculine. This is the one. Just bear in mind what I said or what I read from the book. There can be a karmic thing here going on. This could be the illusion that you may feel, right? This could be the fantasy, the romance that you have about someone. But what if we need more cards here. Let's have this one. Because this can be the issue between you, right? Maybe we should have a look at this also here. Justice. Yeah, justice is a card of fairness, balance. Look at the goldenness here of this, right? She is standing here. The balance between yin and yang. The yin and yang here. The balance between the yin and yang. The balance between the man and the woman. Right? How is a feminine supposed to be feminine? Real, true feminine. Open and receptive. If the masculine is using her or abusing her. Right? That's why the feminine needs a masculine like this. A devoted masculine. A masculine that really honors the family, protects the family, take care of the family, but also allows for the younger ones or the smaller ones of the herd to be who they are. To have a sense of life themselves. Not control them, not domineer them. Allow for them to give him a little bit of competition, right? It doesn't break him. He's saluting that there's different life. We see even the mushroom here. We know this one, right? It's poisonous. He doesn't mind. He doesn't care about it. That there will be something like this in the world. But he just walks by it, right? Doesn't care about it. It's not threatening him. He's wise, this one also, right? Earthy. He knows the earthy element. He knows the way of the world. He has a worldly experience. He knows not to touch this. And he knows to allow something else to exist. That's not how he exists. He protects the things that are his herd. His wife, his children, right? He protects the storyline, right? He protects the identity of the herd. He walks away, leads the herd away from something that is potentially burning it. Right? He leads it away from troublesome water, poisonous water, or dramatic situations. Why should I lead my herd to a waterfall where there are predators, right? It doesn't make sense. I need someone with whom I can feel safe and protected, who is invested in me and in our life together. Justice talks about balance. It's a Libra card. This can even be Libra also, earth element here. Taurus, Libra, Capricorn. Right? We have Libra here. So Libra is about the scales. It's about black and white. It's about dark and white. It's about dark and light. It's about yin and yang. Equal give and take. Right? It's about fairness, balance, harmony. Maybe it's the time around where there is actually fairness, where there is actually balance, or that again, as I said, maybe there is no class difference. Maybe there is no like gender issues. Maybe there is no black and white issues. Maybe there is no religious issues this time around. This time around, it's the old stories that you need to overcome. The wars that have been, the narratives, the memories that is in your DNA. A long, long story. I get the feeling there is it's reversed this time. Now you don't have the wars. There is no war to fight. There is no like outside obstacles. It's all inside. It's an internal thing that needs a new story. It needs a new story. A new narrative, a new perception, a new way of seeing each other, a new voice, a new identity. It's a rewriting of, that's what I feel like could be, maybe that's what strikes at 12, that something needs a new story. to uphold the same stories. I recreate the same battle, maybe. To have a peace, to have peace, to have peace. To find peace, I need to write a new story. Or the feeling, I need an inkling of cooperation, right? I need an inkling of understanding, compassion. I need an inkling of I just need a little bit. And again, I feel like clarity is here. It wants to come and bring in that actually balance is here. There is balance. It could also be the feeling that someone is the balancer. That someone is the balancer who takes all the pain away. Right? But it could be reversed, that in one lifetime, perhaps one situation, or even in this lifetime, maybe you have been together at some point. But it cracked open, you got separated. And now there is a realization that without this person, my life is a mess. Without this person, my life is tumultuous. Without this person, there is no security, safety. There is no balance. But when I'm with this person, there is balance. I feel harmony. I feel peace. I feel calm. There is no war. There's only peace. There's harmony. There's balance. There's calm waters. And every time I'm separated, there is tumultuous water, out of control. It's tumultuous here, dramatic. If I can somehow bring us together, it will be a balance. And I'm looking for the balance. I'm looking for the harmony, the oneness maybe with someone. Because if I am that, I am united now with something big here, right? Both of them hold enormous power. So let's have a look at this, right? Again, here we have Libra, right? Ruled by Venus. So a strong feminine energy asking for balance here. That's all she wants. She's asking for balance. And she's not looking here, she's feeling, right? She's feeling, is there balance here? I'm not letting my sight show this, or I'm not letting myself be seduced by the sight of something. I'm not letting myself be seduced by the sight of someone here. I want to feel it, right? I want to be able to feel and know that there's balance. So it feels a little bit like someone is not wanting to be seduced by looks, perhaps. That the look of someone is no longer maybe important, like it has to be a feeling. I'm not letting myself be seduced by how they look. it's not enough that they look great and they are muscular. I have to feel it, right? I have to feel the crown here. I have to, and how are they yielding this power? As I said, the divine masculine, he knows his power, right? Like a strong masculine can easily overthrow a feminine if he wants to. But a true masculine, divine masculine, would never do that. He doesn't have to, right? His aura tells a different story, right? His aura has to be something that she can feel, even if she closes her eyes here. When she closes her eyes and she stands near someone like this, she will know it. She will know that it's the one. Because the tumultuous waters must not be there. Tumultuous waters is a no-go. Tumultuous waters is where you lose yourself. Maybe you want to lose yourself, but if you want to lose yourself in the arms of a masculine, it should be someone like this, right? Should be someone you can trust. They would never violate you. They would never abuse you. They would never use control and dominance over you. Because they honor your femininity. Right? They honor you. If I talk to a feminine here, right? That's what I talk about. I hope you get my point of this. To be able to create together for a divine masculine, a divine feminine, both needs to be in good element. They both need to have a say. They both need to feel good and balanced. This is where they equal out each other, or they supply each other, right? They give each other what they need. And maybe that has been a we can even say something like maybe one of these were very, very good looking, handsome, and one was not. But there was still this feeling between them. Tension. I want to say with the waterfall, tension, right? Dramatic water. Bursting, flushing, tumultuous water. Tumultuous water, I believe, is always a no-go. That's tension. It's drama. It's fight, power struggle. Just my opinion. I know that it can be very heated, lustful. It's the opposites that it makes the sparks, right? But it doesn't have to be long term, right? It doesn't have to be something long term. It can sustain itself long term. Okay, let's have a look at the one in the middle. And this is where I feel we can have the trouble here, right? Temperance. Temperance is a card of waiting. It's a card of blending the waters. It's a card of, you see water and fire here, right? How do you blend water and fire without killing each of them, right? The water can flush the fire can steam the water, depending on what you have most of. So here we have a lot of colors mixed around temperance. This can talk about the chakras, that you need to unblock the chakras. to heal something between you here. Temperance is the blending of the cups that are very different, oppositional. It could be, again, this twin flame thing, that you're standing in front of something that potentially is the greatest desire, but also the greatest threat. You know, something that isn't that what we say, that if two people are always going like hitting each other's nerve, none of them wants to give, none of them wants to recognize that underneath their struggle is a strong desire to unite with each other. This tension then becomes frustration, and frustration can be, you could say, frustration, anger can be transmuted in the body into sexual desires. Just saying. So whenever you have this bickering, butching head thing going on, it can be a bit of like willpower that both of them tries to I don't know if I would say have the upper hand. I actually feel more like both of them persist on having free will. Both of them persist on having their free will. Not giving. And when that happens, it's like you can have the sparks of frustration. Oh, right? This feeling, why can't we make this happen? Because both of you are stubborn. Both of you are perhaps having a strong feeling of desire between each other, but also at the same time a strong sense of free will and tension and frustration and desire. But it feels a little bit like a walk, like at one point I feel like it could have been the surrounding world that created the war. That were literally wars fought for this, right? And probably one losing the life. One was sacrificed in them coming together. Them coming together, maybe someone was, and I'm pointing to the male here, maybe someone was prosecuted, hanged, killed for it. Because the class wasn't right. The gender wasn't right. The religion wasn't right. The title, the noblemanship wasn't right. The money wasn't right. Different countries. But that's outside influence. This time around, I feel like it's internal. It's an internal power struggle, a feeling of war, and maybe you need a truce here. or you need a new story. And the new story with Temperance here, well, I believe the new story has to do with who you are, because you can be a feminine in a masculine body. You can be a masculine in a feminine body, or most masculine in a feminine body. As I said, what is most here? Fire is masculine, water is feminine, mostly. Scorpio is masculine, but take that how it resonates here for you, right? The blending of the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang here, the balancing here. Maybe it's an internal process, as I said, between your inner yin and yang. Something has to feel right here. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel like you can trust this other person to equal you out here, to be your equal, if you are feminine, you need your masculine to be masculine in the right ways. If you feel weak as a feminine, you need him to protect you, support you, so that you gain your strength back. When you have your strength back, because the feminine can flow and be tumultuous, can be creative in a tumultuous, free-flowing way. So this is where the masculine needs you to stay, right? Not flow away from him. So both of them need to, you could say, yield their power. The masculine need to yield the fire. The feminine needs to yield the water. Not to be caught in their emotions, not to be letting their emotions steer everything. I said, yeah, she wants to feel that everything is balanced here, but that's what probably the divine masculine is asking of her. Can you do this? Can you feel balanced if you are only in your emotions here? You need to let your consciousness come in also. If you want me to yield my fire and not go and have a family somewhere else, I need you to stay put. I need you to stay here. Devote yourself to me. And she is telling me, I will do that if you treat me right. So again, you see that there can be this power struggle going on here. Can they somehow find a balance? That's what I'm asking. And I feel that could be maybe maybe you realize something here about someone. Do you have a weakness where they are strong? Do they have a weakness where you are strong? A feminine can be very powerful, but usually by using certain elements of her femininity. If we look at if we look at someone like Aphrodite, she used her sexuality, her way of seducing, to give her power. Is that necessarily a good way? A positive feminine? I'm not sure it is. So she needs to find her balance also. So she is not manipulating him, right? And he needs to find a balance where he is not trying to control her. This is probably a difficult balancing. I wouldn't say fight, but actually it feels a little bit like that. There's a lot of desire here, but also a lot of conflict. It could be that maybe the one here that you suddenly meet again, that you have, or maybe you have already been with them, is your ex. And now it's like the scales are reversed. Like maybe now someone has maybe someone realized something, that they didn't treat you right. They didn't treat you right. In either respect here, they didn't treat you right. Maybe these two realize, I didn't treat him right. I actually tried to manipulate him. I tried to control her. Right? It could be that both of them have come to a realization here. That you are my opposite, you are my equal match. I didn't realize it. I saw it as a negative thing, but actually I need it. When I get out of control, I need him to step in. Right? When the feminine aspect of us gets out of control, I need him to step in and calm it for me. If I'm out of control, if my fire is out of control here, I rage, I'm angry, I want to put my semen everywhere. I need her to come here and make sure that I am hers, right? I need her to step up and show herself as a queen here. I need her to come in and stop my turmoil. If my fire gets out of control, I need her to calm it. So there's this balance on both sides here that needs to undergo a transformation. Maybe this is a realization that comes during this time, that I've tried to fight something, keep an opposition towards something, but actually I need them, right? I need them to be there. It can be an internal thing, again, as I said, a yin and yang thing. Maybe you need something, maybe you have repressed something inside you and you need it to awaken it, because it actually would help you in your life. So let's have a card from the Eyes of the Soul Oracle to just finish this off. I feel like I have already touched upon all of this. It's a conflict, tension-based. And I want to say fear-based also. The tension and everything comes from a fear of losing ground, of losing control, that something else takes over. Again, this one doesn't want to lose his status. This one doesn't want to lose her status as well. Both of them need balance. Both of them need to feel secure in their element. Both of them do. And it's very difficult to balance these things out, I think. Again, a toxic masculine, a toxic feminine, or broken masculine, broken feminine. That's very difficult. The narrative, the story they have in their head, the perception about themselves, and what this other person represents to them. It could be the feeling that this opposite, this person, is the one who broke me. They broke me. Loving them breaks me, right? It breaks me down. It's too dramatic, too tumultuous, too out of control. I lose my footing when I'm around them. They bring me into bad company. I become bad company. I give up on myself. I lose myself, maybe. That feeling. Let's have a look from the soul here. Soul perspective of this union, maybe. Start anew, begin again. Again, start anew, begin again. You need a new narrative. You need a new beginning. You need a new story. You need a new hello. And from the water perspective, right? She's in the water here. You have to go back to the emotions. What do you feel for each other here? What do you think about this? It needs a new beginning. It needs a new start. Maybe you need a new start. Again, the person you have been meeting here, or you will meet them. Like, they can really push your buttons, I think. And you have to become aware if this is what you want. Do you want this to be the person in your life? Or do you want maybe to start something new? Do you want to maybe meet someone new? Maybe you meet someone and you have the ability to start a new beginning, have a new beginning here with someone. But are you ready to do that? Even if you have some kind of thing going on here, or the narrative in your head has always been with this kind of struggle, that relationships are like this for me. How can I have a new beginning then? With anyone? Yeah, you need to stop it, right? You need to stop the story. You need to stop to tell yourself that someone is out to get you. You need to stop the war and have a new aspect. That if you want a new beginning, if you want something new to come in, you have to reverse something here. You have to reverse how you feel, or you have to do something about your emotions. Because if you always constantly expect a power struggle, you will receive a power struggle. Create a new story in your mind here. Of something easier. Of something good. Of something balanced. Of something that wants to unite. Something that wants to come together. Something that is in divine timing. It can even be something like, whatever this was or is for you, it is in divine timing. meaning you can't force it, you can't do anything, you can only heal from your own perspective, you can't force it, you can't pressure it, you can't do anything, which by the way is not love if we try to do that. You can't do anything about if this is supposed to come back to you, it will. But nonetheless, keeping an old story alive of some kind of tension is not going to help you in the here and now. In the here and now, you need something else. You need something to be flipped around. Otherwise, you're telling the same story. You're telling yourself the same story. You repeat the drama. You repeat the reason why you are in separation. This can be easier said than done, maybe. But this is what I get for this New Year's reading. And for the Venus in conjunct Pluto here, right? It just be aware of some of this. Meeting someone new doesn't have to mean that you are repeating the story. It means that you have a new opportunity of seeing something else in them, perhaps. Seeing them from a different perspective, seeing something else in them. Instead of seeing walls and obstacles and tension and resistance, maybe you need to see peace. And this can be a peace offering, right? It can be a feeling of a peace offering. Or a resolution to something. Maybe an inner struggle. Okay, this is what I have for you. I hope this helped you somehow. I wish you the very best and most happy new year. Protect yourself, be happy, enjoy yourself, and just, if you meet someone new, if you come across someone new in festive times, and you just feel like we cling, or we click, right? We have this connection, we have chemistry, there's something with this person. Remember, it can be with a karmic point of view. There can be something here that is still playing out, still going on. When the divine timing is right, you will recognize each other, right? You will recognize each other. But only when both of you are maybe prepared to give it a new beginning. To see the person in front of you for more than the karmic issues, more than the old story. So this is like having an open mind. Have an open mind. Start anew, begin again. It means start anew, begin again is the feeling that start something again. It could be with this person, right? It can be with another person. But start from a brand new place. Don't keep an old story alive. It says embrace enlightenment here, right? Embrace that you embrace change, I want to say also. Because enlightenment will always only come if you are willing to give something up. If you're willing to give an old story up and allow a new one to come in, you are embracing enlightenment. Something more beautiful, something more uplifted, something more truthful, honest maybe. I see a beautiful rose here, pink from the heart chakra, and a lit up throat chakra here that would like to talk and say something. Embrace that there's more to the story than you can see with maybe or just feel. Embrace that you are more than the old story. She's wearing a crown here, right? So maybe there is something about owning, like owning your worth here. Really owning the fact what balance means for you here. As maybe the feminine aspect. What is balance for you? And own that, right? She has a crown also here. It's actually the symbol of Libra, but when I look at it, it looks a little bit like a crown or but the point of it is that what feels like balance for you, right? And for the masculine aspect also, what feels like balance for you? Throat chakra here is also speaking, voice, saying something. It can even be that maybe you're not supposed to be with this person. And now I may crush some dreams here, but sometimes the enlightenment path is a solo path. Owning who you are here may also mean that you walk away from something that is not honoring you. And you allow divine timing to come in. Because if you are not honored here with the right respect maybe, or equality, fairness, it's because this one hasn't realized his strength yet. He's not there yet. And therefore he can never be the partner you're looking for. He has to own his own strength to be able to honor you. He should never feel like a threat to you. Not you. You know, that's the part of it. He should never feel like a threat to you. It should never be like if the heart is open and you love someone, it shouldn't be like this. Then there's resistance. Why is there resistance? Right? On each side. Why is there resistance on each side? Because something is not balanced. It's not right on each side. Okay? This is what I have for you. I hope this helped you somehow. Yeah, as I said, I wish you the very best new year. Take care of yourself. I see you in 2023. And I wish you the most beautiful festive evening. Yeah, and if you are feminine, if you are Libra here, if you are Taurus Libra, both Venus elements, just take care of yourself during this time, right? Take care of yourself during this time. It's probably needed. It's all right. If you have something to say, just think about if it's the right time to say it. If you want it to come out, then let it come out. That's it's a thing during this time. Take care of yourself, everyone. Bye bye.